I just ate so much Chinese food. I am so stuffed. Hi, and welcome back to Autumn Time Flowers. How you doing? Been a few days since I've recorded, but I don't imagine that's going to actually affect the upload schedule because I got like 10 episodes done in 3 days, so even though this thing's going up right now, it's June 12th, while I am recording, I've already recorded like 10 episodes, and this is the first one I've recorded in like 3 or 4 days. I banged out 10 real fast. So. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but again, it's that problem of, oh, gotta start a video somehow. How you doing? I don't know that our girl Yuzu's doing all that great. Chapter 3 ended on a note. There's so much still up in the air for this poor girl. She's, as the TikTok generation might say, she's going through it. So let us continue going through it, starting a chapter based on the Cowardly Lion. All the Wizard of Oz has been quite analogous to everything going on so far in this volume. All right, so it's gotten pretty chilly. I let a long breath of air, but it's not quite cold enough yet for it to turn white. Still, if you are inside and you are breathing and the air is turning white, that's a problem. That means the school's definitely got some issues. Like, it's fine. Like, you can live through that, but I don't know that you want to do that in the winter. I'd hope this place has got some kind of, you know, heating system, even if they don't have air conditioning. I've heard of that. I know a lot of people that operate that way, where they have heating, but they don't have cooling. Our ballet outfits remain the same regardless of the season, although we do get to wear a cardigan when we're not dancing. Group 3, get up there and bust a move. It'll be my turn soon enough. No time to feel the benefits of pulling on a cardigan, unfortunately. Mid-November! We are just cruising along now. We're well into autumn, although the temperature has me feeling like it's already early winter. Maybe I'm just susceptible to the cold, though. I watched a lesson without really taking in any of it. I'll be up next. I'm moving into a corner of the room ready to do some warm-up stretches when... For you, anything, classmate. One of my classmates who's just been up dancing comes to me, panting heavily. I already know what she's going to ask. As predicted, she asks me about her ballet performance. It's fine. Looked great. You did fantastic. Top of the world. She nods, seeming on board with my critique. Oh no, here we go! She's gonna get sick! There's gonna be 2 damn character get sick arcs! Ah! She looks up at me with concern as I lapse into a cough and asks me if I'm okay. Yeah, we know where this is going. We are going to be spending 3 days in our room alone with our thoughts and people visiting. This is where this is going. Group 5 to the floor, please. Sister Basquiat's voice echoes around the room, and I throw her a wink as I tell her, I've got to go dance. After our ballet lesson, I furrow my brows at the question. She catches me just as I'm getting undressed. My best friend blinks back at me. Don't think that's where she was aiming. There we go. I was waiting for it. Yuzu's always got a period joke. Is this what she meant about period dramas earlier? Ha ha ha! Funny! She raises her voice, her cheeks flushed. I smile and tell her that my ankle's perfectly fine. I thought the sprain that I incurred when we went leaf viewing was a bad one, but apparently the decision not to move it was wise. I have Neri's fireman lift to thank for that. Yeah, definitely think that happened. She's sure been keeping a beady eye on me. See, I relate to that. As somebody with allergies, it has been hell over the last couple of months. Not a big fan. I raise both my hands above my head and she quickly assures me that she believes me. Ever since we started ballet lessons, Neri's clearly had something against the bridge. It's a very effective stretch for strengthening the back and abdominal muscles. I don't get what's so embarrassing about it. I smile wryly to myself and I hear Neri's quiet voice. Doesn't seem like you're winning this one unless the lady does protest a whole bunch. This girl carried me on her back. She protected me. But ever since then... I mean... if we're being honest... I grin at her and she stares back at me for a moment. She smiles faintly. A cat has absolute emotional honesty. Yeah, if a cat hates you, you're gonna know it. But most of the time, cats just kind of don't give a shit about you unless you were doing something for them that they specifically want you to do. And that is particularly the haughty attitude that they take most of the time. Ernest Hemingway's words, but that's not why they come to mind as I sit before my quintessential autumn dish of grilled mackerel pike. And the answer I have yet to give to Ringo Sasaki-kun. Yeah, you know, I'm an appreciator of a back, okay? I'm an appreciator of a real nice defined back. If we're just putting things out there. I'd been thinking of spilling my feelings to Yaigaki-kun, she of the cat-like smile. She would tease you to death. I don't know. I think she would just kind of like, look, you're being a dumbass and you need to just like make a decision here. You need to like there are things that you specifically need to do to get this weight off your shoulders. It may not make you feel better in terms of saying and doing what you have to do, but you can't prolong it forever because you're just making things worse for everybody. I vow to put the brakes on that idea before it can really take off. And I mean, I'm with you. I also just like, I don't want to hurt poor Ringo. Oh, it's just so sad. But at the same time, you know, that gives her a chance to kind of recover and bounce back and get over it. And if you don't, Erica's going to come by and strangle you. Yaigaki-kun taught me that too. According to our resident gourmet, it's the most fundamental courtesy you can show your food. I murmur to myself as I cleanly pull out the bones. You know, I'm surprised, like, that given given the way food is prepared at this school and the way that we've seen how everything is so hectic, I'm surprised she has to debone the thing herself. I'm surprised that like this thing isn't like nicely filleted and kind of splayed out in a nice little spread for her to just enjoy. I'm surprised that like she has to pick it apart like this. I add a dribble of soy sauce and a blob of grated radish to the bite I carried in my mouth. The fatty, seasonal fish has been... God, I love fish, man. It's so good. I take a bite of white rice as I continue to enjoy the taste of oily fish melting in my mouth. Is there anything better in the life than this? Like, man, yeah, like really good fish that just melts on your tongue is so perfectly prepared. Get all up in them innards! The mackerel pike's well-cooked innards retain a nice firmness. I pick them up with my chopsticks and place them atop my rice. This salty, slightly bitter taste is delicious too. The trick is to add just the tiniest drop of soy sauce. It transforms the bitterness into something sublime. I wasn't originally fond of bitter tastes, but as I copied my father, I came to appreciate them. Just another one of those things I learned from my dad. As I continue to enjoy my date with a fish, I perceive a slight rise in the noise level and turn to look at the entrance to the dining hall. Out there making a ruckus. It seems all eyes are on Suo-kun, the sprite of the library, and Hanabishi-kun, whose fan base continues to grow even among the older students. It's a different kind of stir to those I tend to cause. Saying it myself feels rather arrogant, but the stares and murmurs I receive usually denote admiration, while the looks being directed toward these two are of envy. At least it looks to me like jealousy lurks in the eyes turned their way. The two of them turn with their lunch trays in hand. Hey, come hang out. You all want to see me eat some fish guts? She comes toward me with a smile. Gokigenyo. Yo, a lady of taste. Well, look at that. Seasonal foods are best eaten in the proper time of year. I watch the two of them as they sit down at the table with me. Someone on a diet? Uh-oh. Busted! It's not like I watch what she's eating every day, but I know she's the type to eat a full lunch, unlike Takasaki-kun. You busted! Aww. While Suo-kun nods understandingly, I run my gaze down Hanabishi-kun from head to toe and back again. Naruhodo. I nod. Oh, are you sure you want to ask this girl that question after she's given you a very sultry naruhodo? Yep! Oh, hey! How'd you guys hear about the local sports team? Gosh, they're so good at sports ball! Hanabishi-kun clearly doesn't want her amitié partner to know that she's on a diet. Good for you! I decide to go along with the change of subject. She glances down at my near-empty plate. She murmurs, seemingly thinking that Narine must have jumped to a hasty conclusion. However, my colds always start, like, I know that I'm about to go into a cold, especially like one that's gonna last for like 5 or 10 days, because I start getting like, it's not like my throat isn't sore and it's not scratchy. It's this weird feeling I get in the back of my throat where it's just like, Oh, here it fucking comes. And like, it bugs me for the entire day. And as soon as I wake up the next morning, I am in full-blown cold mode. There was the one time that I literally felt myself catch a 100-degree fever. Like, as it was happening, I felt myself walking from the bathroom to my bedroom, and I literally felt myself grow weak, cold, tired, and start sweating in a span of like 15 seconds. And it was just like, am I dying? And then that ended up being a really bad respiratory infection. This was before the big C, though. I'm not gonna be able to lie my way past Suo-kun. What are you gonna get over on this girl? She looked at me with sincere concern in her big eyes. Oh, it's happening. Oh, it's happening. Yeah, that's typically when I get my colds too. Like, mine are usually early to late November. Sometimes it waits till December, but it's always like right when the season's starting to change. That's when I start getting it. Hanabishi-kun notes her surprise at hearing that, while her amitié partner leans forward for some reason. Hi, how you doing? You probably don't want to be this close to me if I got a cold. You probably want to scooch a little ways back. No biggie, I'm literally the Terminator. Seeing her fine features so close up almost makes me sigh in admiration. Yeah, she is enchanting, is she not? Her eyes are deep pools you could easily get sucked down into. The bridge of her nose is perfectly defined. Her lips are delicate as she is. And only Mayuri has tasted those. You're gonna have to get in line. There are so many people just waiting. I can't help but stare, enchanted by the fairy-like creature before me. At some point, we've drawn the attention of the rest of the dining hall. How is anybody in the dining hall even surprised at this point? Why does nobody like everybody knows this? This is just something everybody's used to. Oh, look at that. That group over there is just being totally gay again. At some point, we've drawn the attention of the rest of the dining hall. Realizing that all eyes are on her, Suo-kun pulls back. That's okay. I think that I don't think that Yuzu was really all that bothered. I smile at her as she shrinks back down into her chair. Oh, are we gonna get 3 cold arcs in the same visual novel? Can we get 3? I mean, I guess if you like, maybe, because I mean your body does kind of like go into fever mode to get rid of stuff, but I don't know. That feels like some fun self-diagnosis shit where we're not going to the doctor because you have a fever. It's another thing I inherited from my mother. I say pointedly as I savor the last of the mackerel innards. Hanabishi-kun pokes her tongue out at me as she lifts a forkful of celery to her mouth. The most exciting thing one could taste. She adds, intensely focused on slicing up a cucumber. Subsisting on salad alone can't be good for your health. Perhaps with that thought in mind, Suo-kun fetches some bread rolls from the kitchen, spreads one with butter, and gallantly hands it over to her amitié partner. She accepts it with a smile, Her delight at Suo-kun's concern must trump her worries over her weight.
仲睦まじい限りだ。焼けてしまう。
That's probably one you shouldn't be pressing on.
八代先輩も食べますか?
Literally here right now trying to not explode at hearing that. She's just like, throw on a smile, pretend it doesn't hurt.
いただこう。
I accept a roll from her, but immediately pass it to Suo-kun. My perceptive underclassman helpfully slathers it with butter for me. Bread without butter is like the Red Hot Chili Peppers without Hillel Slovak. That is a pull. Because I feel like more people are probably familiar with John Frusciante, despite Hillel Slovak being there for like most of like the real early stuff. I don't remember when John Frusciante joined. Was it Mother's Milk? I don't remember. Like, I'm not really up on Red Hot Chili Peppers. I kind of only like a few of their albums. Like, Mother's Milk, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, One Hot Minute. Californication's okay, but after that, I kind of not really into them that much. I am that one weirdo that does like One Hot Minute, though.
ありがとう。
We all focus on our food for a while. After the bread has been demolished and we're drinking a post-lunch coffee, Hanabishi-kun plucks the final mini tomato from her plate, pops it into her mouth, and elegantly dabs at her lips with a napkin.
合唱会までには風邪直しておいてくださいね。
Get over the goddamn cold! I will never let you live it down! She says in a joking tone. Suo-kun must not have heard about it, as she asks what this contest is. It's... I want to hear you sing, Suo-kun. I explained that it's one of St. Angraecum's annual events, and we need to fill a visual novel with a ton of them, because that's kind of our deal, and yet another organized by the Council of Nikaya.
合唱会があることは年間で知っていましたが、この時期なんですね。1年生から3年生まで来そうのよ。ちょっとした合唱コンクールみたいでしょ。
Oh, a sing-off! We got some singers here. As a member of the choir club, she's clearly fired up with enthusiasm. It's very sweet to see.
そうか。1年生も参加するのだから、スオ君も。
Let's go! Huh?
きっとスオ君の歌声は夏の白もやの煙る森の中から細く長く聞こえる。
Damn, way to lay it. This girl can lay it on.
深いなる調べなのだ。
God damn. I think, like, if I went to this school, I would be just as easily charmed by Yuzuriha as everybody else is. She's goddamn charmer as hell, man. She's a goddamn charmer as hell is what I said. Yes!
無理やりにハードルを上げてしまうところだった。
Love my English. It's so good. She heaves a deep sigh of relief at my words.
スオさんのことですもの。きっと目が冴えるような素晴らしい歌声だわ。早く聞きたいです。
No pressure or anything. Timid girl.
ああ、期待しているよ、スオ君。
No pressure. Please don't explode. Timid girl. I grin apologetically as she flaps her hands around and mutter to myself that I really do need my throat to recover in time for the contest.
つまり合唱部は各学年の合唱とは別に歌うのですね。
She asks, ever the great detective. She's drawn out the subtext of what I was saying, and I hold up my hands and joke that you got me.
最後の鳥を合唱部が行うのが伝統なのさ。だから花火師君としては僕の喉の具合が気にかかるというわけだ。
純粋に体のことも気遣っています
Aww.
よ。どうも。そうだ。なら部屋に来て看病
Do
して
it.
くれるか。
Do it. Do it! I'm just joking around, but...
私は構いません。病気の時はお互い様だもの。いいわよね。
She's so earnest. Hello. Alright, phone. Notifications! We're turning them sons of bitches right off. I thought that I had before I started recording, but I apparently did not. These two must live in a kinder, more innocent world than I, as they don't seem to have picked up on the less than innocent implications of my joke.
冗談だよ。まだ引き始めだ。看病されるほどじゃない。
大丈夫ですか？
I nod, although I think I felt a slight fever come on during the course of our conversation. Or are you just, hot for Suo? I mean, it's hard to say. You got a fever, but it's a Suo fever. I stand and pick up my tray. All joking aside, I really have developed a fever. Maybe I shouldn't have eaten so much. I think you feed a cold. You need as much energy as you can. Your body's going into overdrive trying to burn up all of the toxins. We haven't decided on what we're going to sing yet. Forcing my surprisingly lethargic body along, I wave down at the two younger girls, then exit the dining hall. My underclassmen had warned me. Walking down the corridor, I feel like I'm burning up. It's not an instantaneous rush of heat like a kettle. Instead, it's slow and creeping, like it's searching for the exact temperature I'll be able to bear. As someone with a naturally weak constitution, I actually know the best methods for dealing with it. Eat something, crawl into bed, and sleep for as long as you can. That'll usually take care of a sudden fever. However, you're gonna try to fake it till you make it through a cold? Especially with a choral performance coming up? I don't know. That seems like a bad idea. My best friend worries about me more than herself, and I don't want to get her fretting if I can't help it. Which is why I'm now heading somewhere I'd usually have no interest in going. As I walk along, I look out the windows. The bare branches of the cherry trees shudder in the wind, like the silent, bony fingers of the dead. The season is already trying to push on from autumn to winter. Going to the nurse's office? The sound of the door closing brings my attention away from the window and toward its source. Recognizing the student who's just left the nurse's office, I raise my hand and call out to her. Hearing her name, she looks my way. Hey, been a while. How's it going? She greets me with her usual feline smile. Listen, this girl do be looking, and she definitely is one to enjoy a feast for the eyes. Just your coffee. I can't help but smile smugly at the praise. I'm not a fan of coffee myself, but it's a skill I've cultivated for my best friend's sake. What you scheming? Aunt Flo's in town! Dang. She listlessly shows me a package that must contain painkillers. It's rare for her to respond with such honesty. No. Yeah, she's just fundamentally honest, and she's like, oh, here comes the girl that's always making jokes about periods. Since I'm having a period problem, why don't I just go ahead and tell her about the period problem? I think a person's true nature comes out in answer to such questions. There are some people who hold to an unbreachable internal watershed, and they often find themselves unable to answer a question. It's almost like they don't hear what they're being asked. Sister Basquiat and I are representatives of this type. Yaigaki-kun, however, isn't like that. At first I thought that she was the same as me, but actually she'll give an answer to any question you ask her. It might not be a completely truthful one, but it's an answer nonetheless. I'm sure this quality must be something one is born with.
そうかい？僕は軽い方だから君の痛苦は想像できないが、よかったね。
Yeah!
そうだ。お腹をさすって。
Give Erica belly rubs, give Erica belly rubs, give Erica belly rubs. Oh, she laughed. Yeah, Terminator mode Chidori would activate, and that would be the end of everything. We joked back in the spring about, oh my god, they fucking murdered Yuzuriha. And no, it would actually be true this time around. You saw how she was looking at them during the knitting scene. You saw how that went. Just even touching fingers with this girl. It's like, that's enough. She cuts herself off, her cheeks turning a bright shade of red. I mean, she ain't wrong. Great, now I got a headache to go with my stomach ache.
冗談だよ、冗談。今、八重垣くんが言ったそのものズバリさ。なるほど。腹痛ですか。こいつは忠告ですが、廊下に落ちているものは食べない方がいいですよ。
Floor mackerel, dude. Can you imagine floor mackerel? She smiles cattily as she gets her revenge bargain. I respond that it's hard for me to resist.
廊下に落ちている。
Oh, you're boned! You're done! Yaigaki is finished! I open my mouth wide and lean towards her neck. Her face immediately turns scarlet. Done! Done! She's out! Can't! No! Gotta go! Gotta go! Them wheels are actually smoking on the floor. A sidekick. Sidekick. I like the sound of that. It's a pet name I'll never obtain. Ah! Oh. When I slowly pull away, Yaigaki-kun releases a sigh of relief. Yes, she is indefatigable. It's one of those words I really like saying for some reason. Indefatigable. I don't know, there's just something real fun about that. Say it yourself. Indefatigable. Indefatigable. She blinks at me and asks if I have a cold. I respond in the affirmative. Delicate flower? Delicate flower? I smile at her. She puts a hand on her chin thoughtfully as she regards me. You gonna join me? Thanks for the concern. I've heard that colds, which aren't accompanied by a fever, taking a bath and raising your body temperature can boost your immune system. So I know she's not just trying to get back at me. Yaigaki-kun scratches her head and mumbles something about overstepping. Yeah, she's a good girl. She cares. I thank her. Yeah, whatever. I'm out. I don't know what you're talking about. You're a jerk. I hate you. Whatever, loser. She looks away, her cheeks flushed. It's okay. It's not like I'm marching off to war tomorrow, I promise her. She looks taken off guard for a moment before her usual feline smile curves across her face.
なんだか真ん中の姉と話してるようです。
I tell her I'm honored.
さっきの話に戻りますが、人の体は37度台の時に最も免疫力が強くなるって話なんです。だから熱が高くなければ10分から20分くらい入るといいって話ですよ。
She goes on to say that any longer than that isn't recommended.
随分と詳しいんだね。長女が繊細だったんで対処法はなんとなく覚えたんですよ。千鳥のやつも。
She stops and considers for a moment whether or not she should share this with me.
相棒も体が弱いってことはないんですが、季節柄喉を痛めないか話してましてね。部屋で金魚でも飼えないかって話してたんですよ。
Before I have a chance to ask what's the relevance of the goldfish, she goes on to answer my unspoken question. Isn't it got something to do with, like, if there's a fish, if you keep a goldfish, doesn't that, like, naturally put a bit more humidity in the air to kind of help with that? Yeah, it raises the humidity level of a room. It's like a natural humidifier.
そいつはいいことを聞いたな。
High humidity can help curb the proliferation of viruses. Perhaps it was partly for my benefit that my father always kept tropical fish?
僕の部屋でも熱帯魚を飼えれば面倒な薬をもらいに行かなくても済んだのかもしれないね。もしかして養護教諭が苦手なんですか？そんなことはない。ただ、そうだな。相性は悪いのかな。顔を見ると喧嘩でもしちまうとか。そうではなくて、純粋に生き合えないんだよ。メジャーリーガーの打率くらいの割合でね。
Damn.
別だ。養護教諭もフラフラと席を外す癖があるわけだ。
She just doesn't want to deal with you. I conclude that I probably simply have bad luck.
そうなんですか。必要な時に会えないってのはきついですね。私も一度だけありましたけど、あれは往生したな。
She rubs her stomach. She must have been here in search of painkillers like today. I empathize with her, even if it's not something I have experience with myself.
養護教諭が見つからない時は、片場寮長からもらうといい。寮長からですか？養護教諭が不在の時も当然あるだろうから。
Well, that's handy, yeah. You'd want somebody. Maybe it would give us a reason to actually see Dorm Mother Katabami. I sure would like to. She sounds cool.
つまり、飛行機のパイロットみたいに保険で機長と副操縦士がいるわけですね。
I nod, prefacing what I have to say with a note that it's not strictly allowed since the Dorm Mother doesn't have the relevant qualifications.
急に症状が現れた場合、一人だけだと不測の事態に対応できないからの措置だ。真夜中困った時は部屋を訪ねるといい。いいことを聞きました。だけど夜中はな。
I ask her if there's some problem.
以前夜中に伺ったことがあるんですけど、プライベートなことをしている最中に
Something, private, you say?
まさか。
Don't tell me. I gasp, wondering if it could have been something X-rated.
針仕事をしているところですよ。裁縫をしている時にドアを開けたものだから。
Oh no!
指を刺してしまって。らしくないって思ってるんでしょうね。
Can you believe it wasn't the thing that we thought it was gonna be? In this visual novel that has so far been very risque. Can you believe it?
片場寮長の裁縫好きは公然の秘密なのだけどね。
Just like me, she enjoys girly things, but because people don't expect it of her, she has to hide it. This would be the perfect person for Yuzuriha to actually kind of form a bond with if we could have a few scenes like that. It sounds like she might have an answer or two to be able to help our poor girl here.
そうなんですか。 子力ってやつが高いのさ。ダメになった歯切れを集めてテーブルクロスにしたりとかね。
Nothing like me whatsoever.
どちらかというと母親力ってな感じじゃないですか。
Now that she mentions it, that's true. I nod and we share a smile.
おっと、
A wild nurse appears.
早く行かないと逃してしまう。
打率を下げるため
Go raise your batting average, which is perfect because we're talking to Erica. She flashes me a feline smile as I make to leave.
そうだ、月末の合唱会楽しみにしているよ。
Looking forward to hearing that singing voice.
私の嫌いな語句は
Ladylike and choral.
2番目が合唱なんですよ。
Her smile disappears as she rolls off gracefully, just like a cat.
静養してなさいって言ったじゃない。
She sure did, but
こいつはしょ
I'm a very good listener. As one of the many members of the choir club, I could probably have gotten away with skipping out and resting in my room, but I also have my duties as president of the Council of Nicaea. I have to be present at the meeting to decide what song the club will sing to close out the choral contest.
では、みんなの意見から新しく転入した方たちのためにも分かりやすく歌唱しやすい賛美歌にいたしましょう。
Given her accommodating nature, this was inevitable, I grumble to myself. Personally, I've been wanting to show off all the fancy singing techniques we've learned. I look around at everyone's faces as they nod along, as though in search of someone who will agree with me. Neri calls out to Hokama-san, our keyboardist.
私たち合唱部は3曲歌唱することになっています。2曲は聖歌を、そして1曲はいわゆる通常の合唱曲を歌うのが伝統です。
Hokama-san, sitting on the piano stool with her fingers poised over the keys, catches Neri's look and begins to play. Oh boy!
これは
It's a familiar, nostalgic melody that warms my soul. I've heard it so many times as a child.
有名な曲なので聞いたことがある方もいるでしょう。
She scans the faces before her like she's looking for something in their expressions. Then her gaze comes to rest on me.
ゆずりは
You did this on purpose! The word drives a wedge into my chest. Oh, this song's real
詩
good.
の魔法じゃないか。
I don't even know why. It's already got me feeling misty. This song is literally engineered for tears or something. I don't know what the problem is. I whisper, my voice hoarse. Rainbow magic during Pride Month too. It's perfect. My father often made up stories for me. Oh, we're getting more lore. This happened when I was young, in particular when my mother was hospitalized while pregnant with my brother. I was staying with them in the home of my paternal grandmother. I was afraid of the big old house with its thatched roof and low-hanging beams, and I was unable to sleep properly at night. However, on the rare occasions when my father would get home before my bedtime, he'd gently tuck me into my futon and tell me a story. When I was with my father, the fear faded away, and I'd drift off to sleep in the middle of the tale. The stories he told me weren't time-honored folk tales nor twists on a real-life story. They were fairy tales of his own creation. Delightful, funny stories that would keep me awake laughing, melancholic tales that would have me soaking my pillow with tears, nonsensical stories that amazed my childish mind. All of them served as precious nourishment for my soul. And so, I don't think that it's such a strange outcome that I became a book lover. As a gloomy, introverted child, I would sit by myself in the classroom flipping through the pages of a book. Thanks to my father's influence, my genre of choice was fantasy. Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Charles Kingsley's The Water Babies, A Fairy Tale for the Land Baby. But the novel that I loved most was The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by Lyman Frank Baum. I saw the characters in the book as projections of myself and those around me. The Tin Woodman without a heart was me, and the Cowardly Lion was Nerine Komikado. We'd become friends after the incident in on our school trip, but I still couldn't get close to her. The reason was simple. She wasn't a loner like I was. Nerine had a lot of friends, and she couldn't pay attention to only me. I never spoke to her when she was with her other friends, but when she was alone, I would pick up my courage and say a few words. By a stroke of good luck, though, it turned out that our houses were close together and we shared the same route home. My journey to and from school became the happiest part of my day. When I couldn't be around her, I'd bury my head in a book, occasionally sneaking glances her way whenever my eyes grew tired. There she would be, laughing with her friends, the center of the class. But to my eyes, Nerine Komikado seemed somehow afraid. She smiled, but it didn't really reach her eyes. She looked, but she didn't really seem to really see. Like the Cowardly Lion, I felt like she was hiding some inner frailty from the world. Then, one day, tired of laughing, she left her circle of friends and came over to me to ask what I was reading. It was the first time she'd spoken to me in front of other people, and I found myself lost for words. She looked at the cover of the book in my hands. She said. Then she gazed down at the page I had open. She commented. There are 3 reasons I loved The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, and one of them was those silver shoes. If I had those silver shoes, I could be with my mother in the hospital in an instant. Even though I was well aware that it was just a fantasy, I still thought to myself just how wonderful that would be. And so I was shocked to find that Nerine Komikado held those same feelings in her heart. She stared at me like she'd seen something in my face. She said this and... Oh, you're cutting me off? You're cutting me off? Oh, that's such a ripoff. Dude! I wanted the lore! An amber-colored wall materializes before me. I can still see the hazy outline of the scene through it. I'd been dreaming of the moment when Nerine first approached me in the classroom to ask about the Wizard of Oz. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz? Lying in my bed in a dim room, I finally remember where I am and why I'm here. All right, let's get sick! Reaching up to my forehead, my fingers brush a cool towel. Oh, you gonna get so taken care of? Look at you. You about to get spoiled. Startled by the sudden interjection, I turned my gaze in the direction from which it came. I look up into the concerned face of my best friend. I remember at choir club, after we'd finished selecting the songs we were going to sing at the choral contest and we were heading back to our rooms, I was overcome with the sensation that my legs didn't belong to me. It was like my heels weren't connecting with the ground. My entire body was weak and sluggish, and I realized I was now in the throes of a full-blown cold. Yeah, like I said, I literally felt that coming on. Like, it's the only time I've ever kind of felt it happen in real time, when I got that really bad respiratory infection where I was literally just walking to my room and it was just like, oh God, I think my body just gave out and I'm dying. My best friend put her arm around my shoulders and led me back to the dormitories. Oh, how the turns have tabled! If If you can talk this much, then you can definitely handle some medicine, she says, handing me a glass of water and 2 pills. She's gonna make us regret making her drink the awful tasting stuff, isn't she?
これだけ汗をかけばあとは下がるだけさ。ありがとう。
I gulp down the medicine. The cool water rushes almost violently down my parched throat. My body, flushed with fever, is grateful for the coldness suddenly permeating it. It's a big glass of water, but I drain it in one long gulp.
お水もっといる？
More water! I'm almost out of water myself, actually. I tell her yes, please, staring hungrily as she pours more from a condensation-wreathed pitcher.
どうぞ。
I drain the second glass just as fast. My body is craving liquid after sweating out so much.
そんな体で部活に出ていたのね。熱はだいぶ引いたみたいだ。で、2階屋の会から何か報告はないか？
She leans in and pinches my nose, telling me I'm unbelievable.
1年生の子が農場に来ていたキツネ。タヌキかしら。それを餌付けしてたって報告があったくらいだ。
I guess she can't get too mad at users since she was directing shit behind the scenes while she had a cold.
そいつは大
Yeah, that could absolutely be a big problem.
怪我をしていたそうだからかわいそうだけど、バスキア教諭が対処してくれたそう。
She, dealt with it.
ならもったいない。
She giggles at my nasal voice. All is right with the world. Nettie keeps things running smoothly even when I'm not around. Her smiling face reminds me that I have nothing to worry about. Taking my nod as confirmation that I'll stop fussing, she releases my nose from her pincer grip.
なんだかお腹が減ってきたな。
That's when I realize it's completely dark outside the
こ
windows.
いつは夕食には間に合わなかったか。食欲が湧いているなら風邪もこれ以上ひどくならないわね。食べ逃したと分かったらがぜ食欲が湧いてきたよ。大丈夫よ。とある先生が
Yeah! We got people on our side, don't you worry. A staff member. Now, who would do something nice like that? It's Dorm Mother Katabami.
片場見寮長か。
The embodiment of all things girly. I try and fail to stifle a snicker.
どうしたの？お腹が痛いの？いや、失礼な話なんだが、思い出し笑いだよ。
It was only a little while back that I was discussing the woman who, like me, is considered the opposite of everything feminine, yet it feels like ages ago.
ほら、あんまり動いたらタオルが落ちてしまうわ。
She picks up the towel that slipped down off my forehead. I feel her dainty fingers affectionately brush my cool skin.
メリー、熱はだいぶ下がったのかしらね。でも今日一日はおとなしくしないとダメよ。
She neatly refolds the towel and places it back on my forehead.
もう少ししたら片場見寮長がお手製の栄養たっぷりの海の幸入れ
Oh damn, you are getting the royal treatment. A really nice homemade seafood soup. Hell yeah.
貝柱で出汁を取るとかかな。楽しみだ。片場見寮長の料理上手は耳にしてるからね。
Getting the good stuff.
一度料理部で講師に来てもらうのもいいかもしれないわね。
Yeah, like get her out of that room so that maybe we could see her personally and talk to her a few times. That would be fun. We are never going to get to see Dorm Mother Katabami, are we? She's skilled at sewing, teaches gardening classes, and she's an excellent cook. However,
男勝りで女子らしいことが似合わないか。私のようじゃないか。
maybe there's something you can learn from that. Maybe there's something that you can learn from the fact that, yes, she's somebody that has all of these girly qualities, but it doesn't 100% fit her, and she seems to be okay with expressing that. Maybe there's like something for you to learn here, child. Child, I need you to open your eyes just a little.
ゆずりは今失礼なことを考えていた。
This girl is thinking something rude 24 hours a day.
メリーにはかなわないの。
Not wanting her to know that I was thinking disparagingly of myself, I force a cynical smile to my face. Nettie gently brushes my hair back from my face.
片上寮長が来るまでもう一眠りしなさい。さっき起きたばかりだ。寝つけないよ。
Yeah, that's like the worst part of having a cold is like getting sick and then sleeping all day and then you can't sleep at night. It's the worst. That's why I just forced myself through it and tried to not sleep during the day because I cannot stand being kept awake at night anymore. I look up at her amber form as she puts a hand to her chin.
歌を歌ってくれれば眠れる気がする。
Yeah, give me a song.
歌？聖歌とか？そこは子守歌で頼むよ。そうだね。
The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. And that other memory that took root deep in my heart.
虹の魔法を歌ってくれない？
Oh man, it's a good song. It's really good.
まだちゃんと練習していないから。
That's okay. The song is literally magic. It conjures tears.
聞きたいんだよ。頼む。
I'm back to feeling like I did as a kid. I stare up at her earnestly until she strikes a grin, the sun breaking the clouds.
いいわ。でも
You're not gonna mess up anything. You're literally perfect. She straightens up and I can feel the pulse of her quiet, steady breathing. She takes one long, deep breath. Then I slowly close my eyes at the first note as the first notes reach my ears. All right, we are gonna go ahead and we are gonna call things there. Like I said, I knew we were gonna go in. I knew we were headed in to our second Someone Has a Cold arc. Which also, funnily enough, also literally happened in another visual novel I'm currently reading, Seabed. It had one of those too, just real early. I was like, well, you really are just kind of proving my point, aren't you, video game? But yeah, that's gonna do it for now. We will be back next time. Thank you always, of course, for stopping by. It's always nice that you choose to spend a little bit of time with me. I want you to know I appreciate it, but I hope you have a nice rest of your whatever, wherever you are. And we will catch you next time.